Hey everybody, it's Kenny K here again, and I want to talk to you about the new TV series about it, um, called It's Welcome to Derry, 2025. It appears to have 10 episodes. You have two episodes now. I saw the first episode. Three directors, and I took the one that did the first two remakes and the Muschieri. Uh, before I go, please like, comment, subscribe. It's free, no worries here, right? Um, so you got Javan Adepo. Well, the movie starts out. Okay, listen. The movie starts out. Um, I actually thought that this series was gonna be a prequel, and it is a prequel to, or maybe even not, or maybe even not. I'm not sure. Uh, that's not said yet, right? It could easily be a. Although they killed Pennywise in the second movie with the adults, but it could be a movie that was between the children and the adults. I don't know, but I think it's a prequel. But I actually thought it was gonna be the origin story of Pennywise because you see Pennywise standing there as the owner of a circus, but at some point in a picture. So no, it's not that. So this little kid gets picked up and he doesn't have a home and he wants to get the hell out of Derry, and he gets picked up by this car going to Portland, and these people acting weird, so okay, shit's going down. Pennywise is already in this car, because at some point there's this little kid that is repeating everything, spelling everything, and there's a moment when he looks at the kid and his name, the kid that they picked up, his name is Maddie. They look at him, and this kid that spells, and he gets the Pennywise guy, the Bill Skarsgård's eyes, the going left, going right, Of course, Bill Skarsgård is gonna reprise his role as Pennywise, but then they all start to do weird things. The mom is pregnant, so it's this typical nuclear family, but it's so weird because the news is talking about a World War III, the Cold War. See that your bunkers, your shelters are heavily stocked with food and supplies, for we may have a missile from the Bolsheviks, the Soviets, and they're at meantime they're singing "Wake Up the Bang Dang Sunshine," and it's like this, and it doesn't compute, and then this girl sitting next to him looks like this really well mannered girl, but then she says to her brother, "Let him shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!" She's okay, and then the mom slaps her in the face. And and she's pregnant, and then she gets the fucking baby, and you see the baby coming out of her fucking, yeah, out of her fucking vajayjay, and it's basically a baby face, a dragon baby. That's basically what it is. And it's flying all over the car because it has wings. And eventually, what Matty does is he closes his eyes and puts his this those what's those things called, where babies suck on, and he is sucking on it, and he's closing his eyes, and everybody is like looking at him, being quiet and all. And then the baby creature flies out of the window. I'm guessing grabbing him, and you see the sucking thing. Yeah, I don't know the English name. Sorry, going into the sewer, and I guess that they the baby dragon took him and he went into the sewer with Pennywise. That's what I think, because now we get to introduce to this. It cuts to black and we get to it's daylight. It's a military base. You got the actor Jovan Adepo, Major Leroy Hanlon. Some of these last names are very familiar, like Hanlon, like Urus, like Stanley Urus, Mike Hanlon. You know what I mean? And his good best friend, basically, of the army, Staff Sergeant Masters, and what do they call it, a Dago, an Italian American. Now these are high-ranking soldiers, major and staff sergeant. They're picked up by a colonel. The Major Leroy is having a tete-a-tete with the general, played by James Remar, playing from Dexter and such. And they're basically what they want is the major and staff sergeant were basically really well. They fought in Korea and they did in World War II, and they did crazy shit with B-52s. Those are the jet fighters for the Americans army, and bombers and shit like that. And they wanna re they wanna they wanna redo the B-52, make it a better version of it, and they want to test it. And they want Major Leroy and Staff Sergeant Masters to test them. And they're gonna put a secret weapon on them. Now, what happens is Major Leroy is not gonna stay at the base. He's gonna it's a base next to Derry, so he wants to go. He has a house that he already has planned for his family, because he's never seen his family in 10 years time. So his wife has been very patient. Break out the dildo. Now that's not necessary anymore. Did they have dildos? That's back then. I think it's a finger session. Um, but he eventually wants to stay a few nights, and then these guys show up. I thought looking like the miner from My Bloody Valentine, but slightly different mask. Were like gas masks. You couldn't see their faces, and they were beating them up. And he was, yeah, he was kind of fighting them, but I thought he was gonna do a better job, the major. But the guy who was fighting, he really got the handle on him, and then he pulled a gun on him, and he said, "Give me the. I know you're gonna fly the newer B-52. Give me the the plans, right? Uh, secret information." And he said that is classified. And then if you don't give it to me, I'm gonna blow this through your head. I'm not fucking playing here. Then he sees, and it's actually really well done. He sees the other guy with three guys. The other guy is like looking like this, because killing a fucking major, that's gonna be a big headline in the papers and shit like that. These are probably soldiers, and he sees that the other one is freaking out. He's never gonna take a shot. He says, well, no, I'm not gonna give you the information. And then Masters comes in, and then they start to fight again, and then eventually they run away, hold a gun like this, and they run away. Now the thing is, it plays in 1964, I believe, after the Korean War, and back then, black people were, you know, especially in World War II, black people were only used in the kitchens because they said black people can't look good in the dark or something. Really bad time for racism and shit like that. And it's still going on. The fact that this guy got the rank of major, he re- he had he really had to prove himself. And the colonel and this general seem to really respect this man. But there's a moment when they go into the hangar where all these bombers, these large bombers, are placed, and they're working on mechanics and soldiers. And this guy's yelling, "Officers on deck!" And then they do this, the saluting thing. And there's this one guy who doesn't want to salute because he's a nigger, like he says. And then he says, "I'll salute you next time, brother." And then the general comes towards him and he says, "Do you want to get fired? Do you? Salute him now, because you will get court-martialed." Then he salutes him, but still, I would personally court-martial. I would have court-martialed his ass. I would have put him in fucking prison. I would have. I wouldn't put. Don't drop the soap, bitch. Yeah, really, really was an asshole. And then it cuts to school, and then you have a few kids called Teddy, Phil, Lily, and Marge. Now, Maddie had the habit of sneaking into the Capitol, which is a theater, okay, a movie house. Now, there's a moment when they sneak in. There's one moment that one of the girls, I'm not sure which one, Lily or March, gets a. They all get a it moment, but the only one that I saw was that he hears a song playing, and she hears that it's Maddie's voice, and she says, "Come back, come back, come out, Maddie, come out." And then you see bloody fingers coming out of the drain, and it says, "He won't let me, he won't let me." And then she's kind of like, "Oh," and then okay, they go back. They have the plan to go to the theater house. Maybe he's staying there, or and they're watching the same kind of movie. It's like a musical, but then they see, uh, yeah. So spoilers ahead. Sorry to say. Okay, for people who don't want to see this, I'm not even gonna spoil it. Okay, it's just. I thought it was a little bit tedious. It was tedious. It's still the pilot, of course, and the second episode is also all. It's also a pilot. I think it's a combo, episode 1 and 2, but it felt tedious to me. The group of kids didn't have the same chemistry as the group of kids in the first movie. I don't know. They cut, so they have this weird family. It's Pennywise, but then that the large baby creature later comes back, but bigger, still with a baby face, and rips and shreds kids to pieces. That somebody has a hand, thinking he's that a person saved somebody from that creature, and she looks, and she only has a hand in her fucking arm, in her hand, a piece of hand with a piece of arm. So it's pretty gory. It's pretty disturbing, but I don't know, man. It's there is a moment when they see Maddie, and he does this. He does the grin of Pennywise, and then the eye thing, and so I'm thinking, is this the moment that? But no, it's not the moment that Pennywise was created. It's just because it was kind of confusing, to be honest. It was kind of confusing. They're doing this adventure to find Maddie, but they knew Maddie was a he didn't had a home, and he was kind of disturbed because he knew what was in Derry. He knew that Pennywise was in Derry, that there was a monster in Derry, and he wanted to go as far as away from Derry. And to be honest, I actually even almost fell asleep. It was tedious. It was boring. Then you have this part at this military base where you have some racist action, and then this in the middle of the night beat down by guys in gas masks. Mhm. No, I didn't. First episode didn't do it for me. I'm gonna keep looking. I'm not still gonna give it a chance, of course. The first episode didn't do it for me. Really, it didn't. The the finale was very bloody, very gory. You didn't expect that to happen, but still, yeah, it didn't do it for me. So that's my conclusion. The acting was good. The acting was good. Like I said, these movies that Andy Muschietti makes, he always has top-notch actors. Not only the adults but also the kids, and also the 1964. It's really 19 years, like stepping back in time. It's like 1964. If it's 1970, it's like 19. He can really make these sets. Um, but just the story, it was all over the place in a way. It was military. So first, weird people in the car think, oh, this is gonna be Pennywise. No, there's this dragon baby coming out of her vajayjay, and then the pacifier. That's the thing that he sucks on, right? It, Last you see the baby going out of the window on his side, so I'm guessing he took him out of I could I only saw the pacifier coming out of the window, so that's the thing. That's the thing. So it was a weird one. It was really weird one. Was there something? Was it didn't scare me at all? It was so no. But I think it's just something you have to give a second chance. So I'm gonna give it a second, maybe a third chance. But if at episode 3 it doesn't do it for me, then like it's the original, it didn't do it for me. In did did do it for me in the first part, but in the second part, nah. Same like in the remake. In the first part, it did do it for me, but in the second part, nah, Ramet. So it's not a perfect movie. So I'm gonna give it a few episodes time, but watching time. But I'll let you I keep you up to speed. See you next time.